In 2025, wholesale distributors have seen more M&A activity than the previous 2 years combined. That's more than 60 mergers, acquisitions, and private equity deals worth over $5 billion across Australia and New Zealand alone. And this isn't just a trend, it's a signal that our wholesale and distribution and manufacturing sector are thriving and they're valuable. And everyone wants a piece of it. Why is your family wholesale business, the one that's been plugging away for 30 plus years, suddenly getting emails from private equity firm from some bloke called Chadwick? Well, it's because M&A at the moment in this vertical is going nuts. Private equity firms and multinationals are circling, rolling up and buying out wholesalers and local distributors. So what's kind of driving all this? You might call it a bit of a perfect storm. So firstly, you've got succession gaps. So many of these businesses are second or third generation family operations. The dad built it, the kids don't want it, and private equity steps in, writes a big check, and modernizes it. Second, you've got wholesale margins are generally pretty tight, but consolidation means much more scale, much more buying power, lower costs, and then increased margins. Thirdly, you've got cost of living pressures. They're having cash flow implications on retails, which flows up to pressure wholesalers, especially those in the mid-market carrying huge debtor books. Inversely, bigger companies have leverage with banks, and with interest rates set to come down significantly over the next year or so, supposedly, money at the top end is going to be cheaper and cheaper and cheaper. And fourthly, you've got digital transformation. So investors want decent companies selling known brands with good customers who have reliable trading histories. And in the background, you've got tech investment, which is quietly jacking up and accelerating in supply chain infrastructure. Now, manual logistics is going to change to digital infrastructure, and investors want in because future profits are going to be derived from applying good technology to all these consolidated assets. So think of it as kind of a tech company with forklifts. And if you want some proof as to what this looks like in practice, just have a look at what's happening right now. You've got Birkenstock Australia, for example. So let's start at the top. Birkenstock Australia, recently acquired by its German holding company, who's taken over the full control of its wholesale and retail distribution channels. Meanwhile, you've got EBOS Group. They're a healthcare and pet care giant. They acquired Transmedic recently for a reported $140 million at a 11.5 times EBITDA multiple. Then SVS Veterinary Supplies for $100 million at a 7 times multiple. Then Next Generation Pet Foods for $43 million. And that was recent, so we don't really get the multiple just yet. Now, these aren't isolated deals. You've got global private equity, which has poured around about $5 billion into roll-ups in food and beverage, packaging, and building material wholesalers over the last, 3 or so years. So what's happening at the moment? It's a global race to centralize Australia's fragmented landscape in wholesale into much higher margin, higher value assets. Because customer lists, pricing history, payment behavior, all of those are no longer back office information. They're actually your business's number one asset. Because that is the data that powers smarter credit decisions. It powers tighter inventory management and inventory control, and better payment compliance, which means two things: stronger cash flow and higher valuations. So here's the one big takeaway for you. Australian wholesale assets are valuable, and the world knows it. So if you're an independent wholesaler watching this, you've got some proof. Whether you're selling packaging or plumbing supplies or pet food, with the right product, the right customers, and the right scale, your business can still command a 8 to 13 times EBITDA multiple, which should have any mid-market owner pretty interested in what lies ahead. Thank you. I'm Tim from Pencil. Cheers.